Okay. So for this, the walls of the house, I have three colors here: yellow ochre, Naples yellow, and ultramarine violet. So I'm going to try to use the three of them with these two, Naples yellow, yellow ochre, and ultramarine violet. Ultramarine violet will tone down the colors, and look at this. Look at this now. It's like gold. It's a gold color. It's beautiful. So this house is sitting actually in a shade. So there are a lot of trees around it. So it's not a lot of bright walls in here. And we don't want them to be too bright because the focal point is actually the pond and the water lilies.
Your color looks much lighter than mine. It's your camera maybe, huh?
Let's see. Yeah, it's like a toned down yellow ochre. If you don't want to use it for now, if you don't want to use Naples yellow to control the color of it, that's fine. Yellow ochre and ultramarine violet. Touch of ultramarine violet in there. Because there will be another layer over that. This is not the only layer. So I like where there are trees in the top, I like to put more ultramarine violet in there in my yellow, because that's more like a shadowy area. And it makes sense. And then when you go down, then you will start highlighting a bit more. And make sure that, you know, where the trees are going to be at the top, make sure that you don't have a straight line in there, harsh line. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to get some purple going in here. Doesn't matter if you see too much purple, that's okay in certain areas. All of these colors are going to be adjusted after. You know, more purple underneath this ledge, because eventually, I mean, this ledge is going to be casting more shadow. There. It's nice if it's not, the colors are not even on the wall. Noise. Have noise outside and noise inside. Okay, now more ultramarine violet down here, because this ledge again is casting shadow over. And this ledge we could add if we want. Originally I sketched a balcony, but then I changed my mind and I thought, you know what, we'll just put a ledge and then we can put ironwork after if we want on it to make it more interesting, or not. Nice. Honestly, it's so much easier than painting flowers.
Yeah. So far.
Yesterday I struggled so much with this, you know, I felt defeated. It's like, what? I failed, you know?
Aw.
It's from school. It's like from, you know, leftover from school, art school. I failed. I couldn't do it.
You mean with this project here?
No, last night we were doing a rose, you know, we're painting
Oh, okay.
part of the project. There's a you know, a rose, you know, so it's just, I couldn't do it.
So what you sent us, was that you went and did something this morning? Because it looks.
Yes, I did another, I did another demo video this morning.
Do.
Yeah, and that's, I sent both. I sent the one I did last night and then another one from this morning.
And did you think about it all night?
Yeah,
I
was
tried
just gonna
one.
say the
Tried
same
one.
thing. Did you get any sleep?
I went and I just watched TV and that's it. I was really tired. I felt tired because the effort I was trying to, you know, put in there to think how to do it. But I like challenge. I like the challenge. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, I like to research and find out how to do it properly. And I looked this morning on Pinterest a bit to see different kind of roses painted, but I really didn't watch any videos because I didn't. We're not doing we're not painting a rose. It's just part of a vase, right? Part of other flowers in there. Just a bit trickier than most flowers. I'm going to add a couple of dabs in here and over here, because if we put just green all over without any yellow in between, it's going to look very heavy. And also here.
Did you paint over the chairs?
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll add the chairs after.
Okay.
Any detail on the wall, we'll add it. It will be added after. And what I do is I push my yellows in for the wall, even over some bushes, because I know I can put the green over, right?
Mm.
So if I have a big green bush in here and I decide that when I start painting it, or when I start painting the wall, I avoid it. You know, I work around it. Sometimes when I put the green, thinking that it's going to be okay, all of a sudden, when I put the colored green, sometimes it looks too big. So now I'm stuck because the color of the wall is, you know, I stopped it exactly where the sketch was, like the sketch of the bush. So when I come to paint, I run into problems sometimes. So what I like to do is go over a bit the bush with the color of the wall, and then decide once I start putting the green, how far up I want to go. You're more in control if you do that. Oh my God, this is so cute. I love this kind of painting, like these. A bit of highlights here, tiny bit of highlight in here. So using just Naples yellow and bit of yellow ochre in here, where I want those dabs of light. Perfect. Right. Now, since we're working on this color, I'm going to take, and I'll stop after this. I promise. I'm going to take ultramarine violet, put in yellow ochre. And you see, when you put yellow ultramarine violet and yellow ochre, you'll get a kind of muddy color. I'm going to take Naples yellow and clean up this color a bit. And I'm going to come here and just push the color down, more like a glaze.
Yellow ochre in Naples, you say that was?
Yellow ochre, ultramarine violet,
Okay,
a touch of Naples yellow in there. We're going to be putting green over that, so it doesn't matter. But this is easier to do. To have the, you know, paint the reflection of the house in the water, but it has to be darker. Now, by the time we're done, if it's not dark enough, I can darken it a bit more. So now I'm looking at the reference and I'm seeing that this part here looks darker because of the tree over here. So I'm going to go with ultramarine violet, more ultramarine violet here. And eventually what I'll do is I'll put green in there, reflection of green, once I start working on the tree. Now, even if we have to lose most of or all of these water lilies, we can put them back. Reflection of the water is much more important at this point, a stage of the painting. Okay, now darks. Some dark in here. So whenever I see dark in the reference in the water, I try to add ultramarine violet for now. Eventually, some of these darks are the reflection of the trees. So we will be putting green in there too. More like a glaze when we're doing this, the water reflection. Let's try to make it thin paint, not thick paint, not too thick. And really with the water lily, we can always add them freehand. Okay, I see here part of this wall in the reference, or wherever there's wall. I can see that there's a lighter color. Okay, more ultramarine violet. Now, the rest of the reflection, the bottom, I'm going to do green. I think it's enough reflection for the walls right now, the way it is. The rest will be greens, dark green. Yeah. Let's just pull this right down a bit more. This is mostly ultramarine violet with lots of water and just a touch of yellows in there. So if I want to, I want to highlight or show where there is a wall, sunny wall, I'll just add more Naples yellow in there. Okay, and then I'll switch again away from the house right down at the bottom. I'll switch back to ultramarine violet. Usually reflections in the water are not straight kind of a one line. You'll have some kind of ups and different brush strokes on different levels. So go up, and then I'm doing this now at the kind of at the to give me texture. And then I'm going to switch back over here. Oops. Because I lost some of the yellow. I pushed the ultramarine violet too much up. Okay, good. Let's do that. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. For the trims, the windows, we're going to use ultramarine violet, raw umber, and titanium buff. It's right there. Okay. Let's do a frame around the window. Round, I'm using a small round brush.
More titanium buff, light, so it's going to be lighter.
Pardon?
More titanium buff than the other two colors, right? So it's lighter.
No, no. For this stage right now, no.
Okay.
Less than titanium buff.
Oh, okay,
More of the other two colors.
okay. Here's
Because
what it's
this
like, so.
will give us room to highlight a bit. Okay, that's good. Let's do this window. Okay, awesome. Let's put continue this down. And here. Okay. All right, so instead of putting all those window panes for now, we're not going to put anything. We'll just put the outside frame for now. And then we'll add the window panes after. Much easier. I mean, we can use later on if we like, if we want, we can use a green color over this glaze, a green, mint green color for those windows that we're putting right now. But if I want to do that, I usually put the green color over as a glaze. It's like a silver color. So at the top part of the window here, the ledge right there, what I'm doing is when I'm connecting these two together, side and the top, I'm adding a small little detail, a curve that connects the window frame with the ledge. Instead of having it straight like that, I'm just curving this a bit right there to connect them. It just gives it a bit of a softer look.
Did you do that with the top window too? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, for the window panes or window panes, we're using Payne's gray and cerulean blue and white. So let's start with Payne's gray. Payne's gray is awesome. Thank you, Ingrid, for reminding me. I usually use, I like to use indigo for window panes, but that Payne's gray is good too.
There's no blue in that other than it's just Payne's gray.
For now, we're going to add some blue later on, but for now, it's a big one, large one, and it's long. So the bottom part is going to be darker, and the upper part lighter. Okay. Okay, now let's switch to cerulean. Keep, without without washing my brush and there. I'm getting a bit of a, let's see. Oh, it's too much. Curtains will come on top. It'll be good. Now this is cerulean with a touch of white in it, lighter cerulean. And I'm just going to do just this part. Okay. All right, let's do the bottom part. Again. Let's do this one. I don't like wide doors. I like them narrow and long. So right here, if I push the color, and I did right now, to the frame that it's already there, this door looks too wide. I'm gonna add another frame on top right here to make it smaller, narrower.
Like a patio door, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now with this one here, it's the other way around. Because there's an awning, the awning is going to cast a shadow over part of it. So the lighter color is going to be at the bottom. And I'm going to add a touch of more white, and it's going to be here. It will look good once we put the window panes or the window slats. Right now, it's too much. It's too strong. Okay, let's take some white, bit of cerulean, and sorry. Oops. It's better. I mean, we're looking at it right now with nothing else, but once we start putting greens around and other colors, it will look good. The blue I'm using right now is a light blue. It's going to dry darker, so I'm not really concerned. But it's more like a glaze, so it's like a watercolor right now. My color is not thick. It's easier to blend with the rest. Okay, I'm thinking about the window panes coming after, like the window slats, how they're going to look with this. Let's put a bit of purple in here too. Since we have the ultramarine violet, why not? Let's add a bit of ultramarine violet in here. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. That's ultramarine violet and white, and it's like a glaze again. This is, I have here some red. It's cadmium red light. And I'm adding cerulean blue in it. It's giving me that kind of a reddish brown. It's nice to have some red in here, but toned down red. Okay. If we add now, push in a bit of cadmium red light in here and just kind of I'll tone it down if it's too much. Not from the top, just from here down. Let's put some more. Once it's dry, I can tell if it needs to be toned down. I guess I have to, well, I do have to highlight the window frame anyway. Okay. Now, before we do anything, we need to reflect these windows in here, or a hint of what's happening in there. So I'm just gonna let's take a kind of a narrow, bright, and go back to window frame. This is the hard part. Let's see. Let's see if this is the right. So in the reference, the window starts here. And let's put window slats in there. So we are going to put them anyway, eventually. Same with this one. If by the time it's dry, I find that it's too much, it needs to be darker, then I can glaze it and push it back. Okay, let's do just a hint. It's just a hint. It's not 100%. So we have one here as
What
well.
color are you using for that?
It's the same colors I used for the frame. It's
Okay.
titanium buff and ultramarine violet and raw amber. But I have a bit more titanium buff in here. Just a little bit more than what I used up there. Just to, because I couldn't see it when
Yeah.
yeah, so. Now the blue of the window panes. It's more like a, this is the Payne's gray, and it's like a glaze, so it has quite a bit of water in it. We're not going for accuracy here, we're just going for a hint. Water lilies are going to be over this, like we're going to see part of this, not the whole thing, of course, because of the water lilies. Half of this is going to be covered in those leaves in here, and then the other half is going to show a bit. So mostly this, I'm going to make it very kind of soft. Try to make it soft. Okay. If by the time I have the water lilies on top and it looks too heavy, those windows look too heavy, I can glaze them, push them back. I can glaze them with the same color of the water. It has a green in it, so I'll put the green over, a glaze of green, dark, well, yeah, darker green to push them back, because they're really now, they're heavy, like they're jumping, they're heavy. But that's okay. Okay. This door looks too, patio door looks a bit too wide. So I'm gonna try to put another frame inside. Yeah. These two curtains, we need to put a color. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a pink in there, because I'm gonna be putting pink in here, and it'll be nice to have the same, like not the same, but a pink repeating in there.
Well, the flowers
So-
are gonna be pink too, right?
Yeah, yeah. So let's take, let's see, this is cadmium red light, Payne's gray. Let's take some white and see what color we're gonna get. First layer, hint of a pink, tone down pink. I don't want it to be too strong. You don't want to, I don't want the pink to pop and compete. So let's see. This is pink that is, I used cadmium red light, a bit of the Payne's gray and white. Okay. Let's take a tiny bit of more white and put it in and just highlight the bottom part. Okay. More white. put it in. And I'm gonna put my little dots in here. Okay, so this is dry. I can start putting my window panes, and it's a suggestion. It's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. Really, it's just kind of a, wait for this to dry, and then we'll put the window panes too. This is dry. I can do that. Oh. Let's try from here. Let's make the center one thicker. All right, all of these window panes are going to be, or slats, they're going to be highlighted at one point when they're dry. Okay, so we're good with windows. Maybe next week what we'll do is we will highlight them a bit, highlight the window slats, and then we're good. All right. Good.